Hello and welcome to the Korean Beauty Show podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Lee, K-beauty expert, founder of Style Story, your online go-to where you can shop, learn, and explore the world of Korean skincare, and of course, your guide to all things K-beauty, coming to you live from Seoul, South Korea. Now, today's episode is something a little bit fun, a little bit different, and that is because it was a requested episode from one of our listeners. And she reached out to us on Instagram and basically said, guys, can you please put together a list of Korean beauty products that I could use instead of Rhode Skin because I just can't get my hands on it. And we were like, brilliant, happy to help. Let us go away and do the hard work for you. And I thought, why don't I share those, the ones that we've actually found on the podcast so that everyone can have the benefit of that list in case Rhode Skin was on your radar, but for whatever reason, you haven't been able to get your hands on the products. So look, none of the products that I'm going to run through today are direct ingredient swaps or formula swaps, if you will. You know, sometimes there's apps and websites I've seen where you can like run a list of core ingredients through and it'll spit out a similar product. That's not really what I'm going to be doing today, although there are some crossover ingredients in there. And I'll explain the reasons for that when we get started, because, you know, that's not always the measure of a good swap, in my opinion. There can be pretty big differences just based on, you know, ingredients, because there are so many other things that go into formulating than just ingredients. What I'm going to give you instead is some great products for that dewy, glazed skin look that Hailey Bieber is really famous for. And that's also what she is going for with her skincare line. So if you're shaking your head, scratching your head, going, what is Rhode Skin and what is Hailey Bieber? Who is she? Why do I care? So Hailey Bieber is Justin Bieber's wife, and she recently launched her own skincare collection, Rhode Skin. That's RHODE. I believe that's her middle name. And anyway, she has been a massive fan of K-beauty for the last few years. She's shared a lot of different Korean skincare products that she likes using in her routine. And one of the looks that she really loves is the glazed donut look. That is what she has gone and created with her skincare line. She's created a range of products. It's not a huge collection yet, but the initial release included products that she describes as her signature steps, I guess you could say, to dewy glazed skin. So let's run through some of them, take a look what's in them, and then have a look at some K-beauty products that would make a good swap. And look, the reason we're doing this and the reason why our lovely customer was asking in the first place is because when she launched the brand, it sold out on the first day. So basically, you know, there was a lot of hype around the brand, a lot of influencers were talking about it, and then people went onto the website and they were like, I can't buy anything because it's all sold out. So that's obviously a little bit of a problem if you wanted to get your hands on them. The other thing is I understand that they might only be shipping to the US at the moment. So for people outside the US, that might make it a little tricky as well. So that's why we're talking about this. That's why this was the thing in the first place, just to backtrack a little bit. If you were like, okay, why don't people just go and buy hers if that's what they're after? That's the reason. So look, until the restock happens, if you're looking for some other things in the meantime, this is the list that I'm going to give you. So first up is the peptide glazing fluid, and this is apparently Hailey's signature step. The brand describes it as a lightweight, quick absorbing gel serum that visibly plumps and hydrates to support a healthy skin barrier. And the star ingredients are listed as niacinamide, peptides, hyaluronic acid, and marula oil. So I did go and check that out, and it looks like, to be honest, the peptide is the last ingredient. So I don't know that this product rises or falls on the inclusion of peptides. So I don't think that that is the main thing that makes this, and that's why I wasn't going for a direct swap for something that had the same peptide in it, just because I don't think it contains that much peptide that you would notice the difference if you swapped it over. Now, I think there are two K-Beauty products that fit the bill in terms of being an excellent skincare swap. They will give you that really dewy glaze finish, and the first one is D'Alba Piedemont's White Truffle Intensive Ampoule. Now, when I first saw Hailey Bieber's fluid, her peptide glazing fluid, that was the first thing that I thought to myself. I thought, wow, that looks kind of similar in terms of the milkiness of it to the D'Alba. Now, I'm not saying she's ever even laid eyes on the D'Alba product. Probably they haven't, probably she has never even seen it and she's just come up with this product and whatnot. But that was the first thing I thought. I was like, oh, wow, I wonder if that works the same. And I actually think that this would be a really, really good swap just because of the finish that it leaves on your skin. Now, the ingredients are not the same at all. And that's why I say I don't think that anyone has looked at these and gone, I want to recreate that. So this one, the D'Alba one, features white truffle and caviar. They are the two ingredients, but I think it will give you a very similar finish to Rhode Skin. The other one is our Jellicoat Dewy Glaze Toner. Now, again, this looks nothing alike. It doesn't share any really of the same ingredients, but what it does do is it has this 2-in-1 formula that does the work of an essence and a toner. And that is because we swapped out water as the first ingredient for birch sap. So this formula is literally bursting with really hydrating ingredients that just give you that glazed look from the first step. And how it's intended to be used is basically after your cleansing, you would apply that and then do the rest of your skincare routine. But using this product will help everything else absorb in even better than if you just went straight from, say, cleansing to your serum or your moisturizer. So I think either of those are going to be a good swap. So hopefully that can be a good place to start if you are looking for something like that. The next product that was in her collection was the Peptide Lip Treatment. And Rhode Skin describes this as a restorative lip treatment for naturally plump, pillowy soft lips day or night. And the formula leaves lips looking glossy thanks to shea butter, peptides, and babassu. So I took a look at the ingredients list, and I don't think that I have anything that's a direct swap, but nor do I need to. I've got a product that I think performs very, very similarly, and that is One Thing's Moisturizing Lip Essence. In fact, when I saw the models on Rhode Skin's website, I thought, oh, that looks very similar in terms of how the finish that it gives on your lips to the One Thing. So their moisturizing lip essence has a ton of organic oils in it. And that's what they're using to boost hydration and give you that glossy lip look. And I think that it performs very similarly. It does give you this glazed donut lip look. So I think if you were looking for a swap like that, that would be a good one. Look, the packaging even is not unsimilar, which is not saying much. Lip products are often in similar packaging. But, in terms of the minimalist, One Thing is really leaning into that, really leaning into the clean beauty angle. So go and check that one out if you are after something like that. Now, Hailey Bieber's collection, I believe, has three different variations of the lip product in slightly different colors, and some are fragrance less and some have fragrance in them. One Thing just has the one, but I think that would be a good swap if you're looking for something in the meantime. The other product in her collection is the Barrier Restore Cream, and they describe this as rich but lightweight, and that it works to comfort, soothe, and restore the skin. So look, there are a lot of key ingredients in this one that I think that I have a swap for. Shea butter, squalane, peptides, acai, niacinamide. They even have, what else do we have in here that I can see? Well, obviously sodium hyaluronate. So lots of different ingredients in there. Now, I think more so in terms of the finish that it will leave on your skin, I think a good swap would actually be our Jellicoe Bubble Tea Steam Cream. And that's not only because it does have some of the same signature ingredients. We've also got the niacinamide, the squalane, the sodium hyaluronate, and the vitamin E. But more to that, it leaves you with that really dewy glow, and it's also packed with antioxidants and vitamins. In terms of the color of them and whatnot, they're not the same at all. But if that's the look that you are going for, then I think that ours is actually a pretty decent swap for that in terms of creating that from your moisturizer alone. You'll definitely get that look. Now, if you were to say, look, is there a single product that I could just swap for the whole skincare line? I don't have time for all these different steps. Or you're saying, I don't want to go out and buy all these different products. I just want one product that is going to give me the glazed donut skin look. Then Cherry Blossom Sleeping Mask is that mask. That is literally the look that you will get. And when you use the mask brush that you can get as well to apply it, that actually feels like you are basting yourself or glazing yourself like an actual donut. And the way it works is that you will immediately see the results when you put it on, but you will really feel the difference, see the difference, and be able to touch and feel it the next morning when you wake up. And that's because it is one of these overnight treatments. It's an overnight sleeping mask. It is designed especially to make the most of your skin's natural cycle while you are asleep. So 10 to 2 is the golden time, the most important time to be asleep. And if you apply this about 30 minutes before you go to bed, then you will wake up to softer, hydrated, plumper skin. And it really does create that glazed donut look. Now, in terms of how much to apply, the only caveat I will give is I've noticed, especially on Instagram, when people are using it and they post videos of it, that they just get so really enthusiastic that they end up applying a whole lot. You really only need a really thin layer of it. It will do the same work with just a thin layer. And, sometimes if you apply way too much, it just is not going to absorb properly. So a really thin, light layer is all you need about half an hour before bed. You won't feel any stickiness. If for whatever reason you go to bed and you still feel stickiness, then I would suggest that you've probably put too much on, because it shouldn't be like that. And I know it's hard. People get very carried away, especially with the mask brush. You just feel like you really want to dunk in there, like you're almost going to spoon it out and eat it. But in terms of what your skin actually needs, it doesn't need that much. And you can also save yourself a little bit of money doing it that way as well. Just a really thin layer. You'll get more masks out of it as well. So I hope that you have found some product swaps or ones that you might like to try out to see how they perform on your skin, particularly if you are a fan of this look. I think because it really is a K-beauty style of look, the whole glass skin trend and whatnot, I think you will find a lot of products in K-beauty that will perform the same. And I think it's really interesting that people are actually seeking out products that do this, because I remember like years ago when the glass skin trend first came out, that the number one comment that I used to get from people, or the number one concern was, well, I already have oily skin, or I don't want to look oily. Is glass skin going to make me look oily? Because it just sounds like greasy skin. And that is not the case at all. That is obviously not what we're going for. Greasy skin and really oily skin tends to have pores that look very wide and big, and glass skin is the opposite. So it really is about finding the right fit for your skin. Loading up on products that aren't the right fit for your skin type will not help you to achieve any of these looks, whether that's, glass skin, whether that's donut skin, whether that's jelly skin. in. So that's the most important thing. But I think there has been a really big shift in how many people are wanting to try these things. So that's a really interesting one for me, because I know typically, particularly in Western countries, that really matte look has been in. And these days it seems everyone is going mad for the almost wet look. So that's been a pretty big change, I would say. And Hailey Bieber's range is obviously designed to introduce that to even more people, like to really bring it to the masses, a whole lot of people that would never have tried this stuff before. So I was very interested to see that. And yeah, I hope that you guys have picked up a couple of products that you might be able to swap out. If you know of any others, please let me know. I would love to share them as well, because I think this is going to be a popular brand going forward, but maybe not everyone's going to be able to get their hands on it, which is a little bit of a bummer if you don't live in the States. So yeah, look, I'm going to leave it here for today's episode. If you do have a request like this that you would like us to talk about on the show, to cover on the show, feel free. My inbox, my DMs are always open. You can come and find me on the gram. I'm at lauren.kbeauty, and Style Story is at stylestory_kbeauty. You can feel free to reach out to our team if you have a request like this. We would be more than happy to oblige, because this is fun for us too. So thank you very much to our Style Story customer who reached out with this one. We had a lot of fun putting this together. I'm going to leave it here for today, but I will be back in your ears next week. Until then, I will see you on Style Story.